Hello, YouTube. I am Vince White. I am an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney. We have here a response from, I believe, a non-attorney who works at a law firm in Indiana, an employment law firm, I believe. And I recently did a video. There was some, employment firms in Indiana who are very expensive, according to one person who posted on the channel. And I did a video about that, which I will link in the doobie-doo down below. But this individual, LC-RL7CD, posted 10 days ago, and I will read what this person posted, and then I'll just make one quick comment on it. Two comments. Excuse me. LC, I'm just going to shorten the name to LC because I don't know. It's a bunch of letters and numbers. My Indiana boss does the 10K, 10,000 retainer and contingency because she's that good at settling, and there's nothing wrong with her banking on a well-earned reputation. Mr. White is right that we turn monsters into heroes here. I agree it is high, but she doesn't say no to any who want their day in court. You would think 10K is a deterrent, but it's nothing compared to what's been stripped of people by their employers. I have my own Indiana case elsewhere, and being made whole starts with hope. This is the greatest nation on earth. Maybe. I don't know. And if there's no hope to be had here, we're in trouble. I think it's only scammy if you don't tell them upfront that nothing is guaranteed. If you don't tell them the Seventh Circuit is a hard-ass conservative, if you don't zealously fight for them. Okay. So, generally, love this enthusiasm, right? I don't know if this is an attorney who works for a firm or, a paralegal or what it is, right? For all I know, it could be an IT person that works at the firm. I have no idea. I love the vibe of this message. Two things I take issue with. One, the most concerning, the sentence, I agree it is high, but she, my boss, and the context is this person's boss, doesn't say no to any who want their day in court. That's tough, right? You have to say no sometimes. You have to say no. And I get that part of the context here is like, oh, my boss charges so much up front, so she doesn't have to say no. And they deal with this later in the question, right? This concept that maybe they're just taking 10K from people, and sometimes they're doing that on cases that might not recover, right? And this person deals with that. It says, it's only scammy if you're not telling them up front that nothing's guaranteed. Yeah, to an extent. Listen, we turn away a lot of cases. And that makes people very angry. I got a negative review, someone who I declined to represent, right? That person was super mad about it. But if I just said, okay, give me your money, nothing's guaranteed, but give me all the money, that would have been me conning that person, right? That would be scammy, in the words of our poster LC, right? That would make me feel like the proverbial piece of shit, right? If that's what I was engaged in. Listen, people are always going to, if you don't win a case, people are going to be like, oh my God, you lied to me. That's not every case wins, right? Nothing is guaranteed, as LC notes. Doesn't mean the attorneys misled the person on the way in, but the other side of that coin is, if you're taking everything, every person who can pay your retainer, if you take 100% of those cases, then I assure you, you are taking some junk, frivolous cases sometimes, right? And I'm sure that's probably not what this firm is doing, right? I think LC is just talking out of the box here. But if that's actually what's happening, that would then, to my mind, be scammy. And that makes me uncomfortable. It does. Now, what doesn't make me uncomfortable is the retainer, right? I don't mind that. Listen, there's firms that charge just because clients who don't get charged are abusive, right? Like pure contingency clients have a well documented tendency to be disrespectful and difficult to work with because they didn't pay you anything, right? They think the attorneys are their bitches, right? And they treat us as such. So a lot of times firms will take money up front to just make sure that clients understand, like, hey, we're valuable. You need to treat us as such. We don't have to be here investing in you, paying into your case, like doing all this work for you. Like we don't have to. If you treat us like trash, we're done, right? And charging up front is a great way to establish that dynamic of like, hey, we're valuable. You should treat us with respect and as if we're valuable, right? Another thing is like people charge up front just because it tends that scammers who exist, right? There's lots of people who are like, I was sexually harassed. By who? Whoever's got the most money, right? It's incredibly rare, but there's definitely people who call me up and are like, hey, what do I say to have a good case? Like, I'm not going to tell you that because you're making up lies, right? But those people call, and a great way to get rid of them is say, okay, well, you got to pay something up front. And they don't want to invest in their own lives because they know they're lying. So that's a great way to get rid of them, right? So I'm not upset with the Indiana firms charging retainers up front. That doesn't bother me. I'm only taking issue with the one sentence that LC posted here. It overall is very positive. Just to be clear with LC, like I'm not finger wagging here. I'm not saying you're bad or your boss is bad or anything like that. Sounds like you're doing great work in Indiana, and maybe your boss is expensive, and that's okay, right? She sounds like she's good at her job. She's got a good reputation. You say that's amazing. I love that for her. I love that for the people who can hire her. That's really great, right? The only thing that kind of makes me flinch here is the statement. She doesn't say no to any who want their day in court. For the previously mentioned reasons, that makes me say, oof, I don't love that. But I suspect that this is just off the cuff writing here, and that firm is certainly doing the right thing and telling people when the case is frivolous and they can't necessarily represent them and stuff like that. I presume, right? Anyways, like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps us to help more people just like you. And remember, almost everybody works. Not everybody wins. Be smart out there.